Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to Madison Reed's Hair Color House Party. We are live from our bathrooms, from our kitchens, from all over the US, coming together as a community and coloring our hair together. So much fun, so much fun. We know that for many of you, coloring your hair at home may cause some anxiety, especially if you're doing it for the first time, but have no fear. Madison Reed is here to tell you that you can do this and we've got you. As I look at the lovely Zoom screen, I see all of your bright faces. You've probably raised children. You've probably navigated careers. You've probably had to deal with many, many life challenges. And if you can handle all that, guess what? You can color your own hair at home. It is not that hard. This is so much fun for us. It's not just fun, it has purpose and it has meaning for us. For every person in attendance today, we are donating $1 to an organization called Direct Relief, which gives aid to frontline healthcare workers, which is just so important at this time. We are streaming this Hair Color House Party on Facebook Live so more women can learn from us. And we're also doing a giveaway. So at the end of this show, we will be picking one lucky winner at random who will be receiving a Radiant Hair Color Kit and a gloss for free. So stay tuned until the end when we announce the winner. Alrighty, now from the very beginning, Madison Reed has been about our amazing colorists. 60% of our employees are colorists, and they are the backbone, the heart, and expertise of this company. Today, we are just so fortunate, so lucky to have 3 of our expert colorists with us today who have decades, and I mean decades, of experience behind the chair, coloring women's hair, and also educating women on how to color their hair at home. And with that, I'd love to introduce you to our Madison Reed team that we have today of professional colorists. First up, we have Susan.
Hi, everyone. Hello from Texas.
Welcome, Susan. Susan has, wait for it, 25 years of experience coloring women's hair. That means she started coloring women's hair when she was 5 years old. And a fun fact about Susan is that she's not only a expert colorist, she's also a formulator. And that means that Susan is the genius behind Madison Reed's over 55 shades of gorgeous hair color. So welcome, Susan. Next up, we have Siobhan.
Hi, everyone. Live from New York. Woo woo.
Siobhan has been a colorist for 17 years. And a fun fact about Siobhan is that we call her our colorist's colorist. And that means that she is the colorist that trains other colorists on how to use Madison Reed hair color. So we are so fortunate to have Siobhan with us today. And last but not least, the star of the show today, who was mentioned at last week's Hair Color House Party, I would like to introduce you to Anna.
Hello, everybody.
Anna is coming to us from the Flatiron Hair Color Bar in New York City in Manhattan. And a fun fact about Anna is that she is one of our most in-demand colorists. She was our top colorist in demand last year, and she is live from New York, and we are so thrilled to have her. Anna is going to show us how to touch up her roots. She has beautiful, as you can see, chocolatey brunette hair, and she's going to use gloss for added shine on her mid-lengths and ends. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Siobhan, who's going to give us some housekeeping tips.
Thank you. So if this is your first time joining us, you might not know this, but one of the great perks about joining us for Hair Color House Party is you see a demo, but we also do Q&A live. So we do want to hear your questions, and we're going to interact with you and keep this very conversational. We're all friends here, and we're just going to chat about hair color tonight. So in order to help us answer as many questions as we can, since there's obviously more of you than us, we just ask that you whittle down all the questions you have to your #1 on-air question, because we can only take one question on air per participant. So usually color questions have follow-up. Don't worry, we're going to give you an email address at the end. So if we don't get to all your questions, or if we don't get to call on you for any of your questions tonight live, you'll get an email address that goes directly to me. So you email us after this and you'll be talking directly to me, and we'll do a more in-depth consultation. So that is asking a question. Susan's going to tell us how to ask a question, but one more note from me. If you would like to be called on, and if you would like to be in the random drawing for the prize, you do need to change your name on Zoom to actually show your first and last name, so that we know when Jennifer from another or when Stacy from another. So if your little box says iPad right now, just change that. There's 3 dots. If you hit that on the screen, it'll say rename, and that's where you can type in your name. I think that's it from me. Susan?
Fabulous, Siobhan. So I know that everybody's got a hairy question. I hope you've got them all ready. How are you going to ask those questions? So this is what you need to do. For those of you who are new to Zoom, you go down at the very bottom bar. There's a little thing that you click on called participants. Once you click on that, then what you'll be able to do is see a raise hand in the lower right hand side. Just literally click that raise hand, and then you'll go onto a list, and we're going to take the questions in order. So all you need to do is, if you have a question, raise your hand. We will ask you to talk to us in that order that everybody that comes up. And we've got lots to show you tonight, because this is one of our most requested services, especially in Color Bar. So we really have the absolutely best person that could possibly show us this, because we're going to see the perfect pair. Now, Anna, what are we talking about when we talk about the perfect pair?
Thank you, Susan. Hi, everyone. Okay, what I'm going to show you today is how cover your roots. I'm going to use a permanent color on my roots, and then for my mid-shaft and ends, I'm going to use a gloss. In this case, I'm Brunette. Always I try to fight with brassiness, reddish stone that I don't like. So my gloss is going to tone down my highlights without making too dark, because as you can see, I have a very subtle highlights. I want to keep them. I just want to tone down a little bit, but I want to still have the highlights. So I love gloss because gloss is going to do that. And also the gloss, it will add extra shine to my hair. Okay, so let's do it. You have the kit over there at home, right? This is the kit from Madison Reed. We got everything for you, okay? Everything you need to do your color. I know probably is going to be the first time some woman is going to do the color at home, but don't be stressed, don't be nervous, relax. We got you. We are here to answer any question that you have to ask. And then it's going to be very easy. I will show you the steps, and I will give you tips. We are going to give you tips on how to get a very good gray cover, okay? So right here in my kits, as you can see, as you have over there, and I have my barrier cream, okay? I'm going to I like to open up everything before I put my gloss on, okay? So this is the barrier cream. I'm going to open, I'm going to prepare everything there, right? And also I have the cleansing wipes, okay? I will open too. And also I like to open my shampoo and my condition before I get to the bathroom, okay? So I got everything ready, right? Perfect. I have everything here. Perfect. And also I have my smack, right, to protect my clothes. It's very important. If you don't have the smack, you can wear a button-up t-shirt or any t-shirt that you don't care that much, but also it will be easy to take it out when you're going to jump to the shower, okay?
That's perfect, Anna. This is a question we get all the time. What do I wear? What's best? Do I need the smock? Do I need the accessories? And truly, if you just have an old button up or even a beach towel, something that you want to clip around you, that's going to be easy, just so that you don't have to pull it off over your head before you shampoo your hair. So it really doesn't matter what, as long as it's something that you're a little bit flexible about.
Yes, that's right, Siobhan. Okay, now I'm going to show you, right? I'm going to show you my grays, right? I don't have a lot of tone grays, but the grays that you're seeing, right? I have grays all over. here, and my grays that I have, they are very resistant, so bothers me a lot. So I'm going to show you how you're going to have a gray cover, okay? I know some women, they are like 100% gray hair, so don't worry about, we are going to get this and we are going to show you what to do to make sure that all the gray hair is covered, okay? First of all, what we're going to do is we need to comb the hair, right? To make sure that we don't have any knot in the hair. And then we are going to section the hair, okay? Always my part is always in the middle, no matter what. But if you have a side part, that's okay. So I will show you how to section from top of the head to the ear. So you're going to do this, right? And then you're going to clip this section.
Anna, your sectioning looks so neat and professional. That is not how my sectioning always looks when I do it at home. But kudos for a perfect section. That was like the cleanest line I've ever seen. Wow.
Thank you very much. I do it also by feeling. Like section, try to be like section by feeling. You know, when I put the comb and I feel where I'm going. So I know I'm coming from here to my ear. So and I run. Okay.
That's perfect. And I just want to say really quickly, Anna, you can keep clipping, you can shake up your color, you can do your thing. I just have to say, Karen, who's joining us, I saw that little mini rehearsal of sectioning that you just did, and it brought me so much joy. I was like, yes, that's exactly it. Just do that. You're like, so grab this pigtail part, right? Yes, that's correct. You're going to be a pro. You're a pro already.
Well, and I love what Anna's doing. And I hope that those of you who are coloring your hair can see that she's contacting her head with, and she's using a brush. You could use a clip, you can use your finger because that's kind of handy. Literally.
You can use a comb.
Yeah, you can use a comb, you can use anything you've got to section. But what makes it successful is exactly what she's doing. So touching onto your head, and this is another tip that's going to come when we come to do the back, so you can actually feel it on your scalp. And that is what we often will tell people when they come to do their own hair. That's how to help control things. Now, what you're doing now, Anna?
Now what I'm going to do is I will put the barrier cream that the kid has, right? I'm going to protect my skin to stain for the color. So I will put it right here around my forehead, around my hairline, but you need to be careful because if you put on the hair, this is a barrier cream. So it's going to lack the color going to the hair. So, but if you do that, you just wipe it a little bit and it will be fine, okay? So I put it around my face, I put it around my hairline because I don't want to get in my skin, right? So you see my section is already there. And also I do this and I put it in my ear, okay?
Mm-hmm. And if you're a bun wearer or a high pony wearer, definitely don't skip the top of the ears because no matter how pro you are, we all do this. We get little drips and boo-boos there. So, you know, get the top of the ear if you know you're wearing your hair up. And then the back of the neck too. We kind of forget about that, but there's plenty in that little packet that you can do the back of the neck and around the edge, and you'll be a happier ponytail wearer with no stains.
Yeah, definitely. We have a lot of cream, so you can use as you need it, okay? Just making sure that everything is covered. Yeah, perfect. So now let's go to the actions.
Okay.
I'm so excited for you guys. I know you can do this. Don't be nervous, don't be stressful. This is going to be so much fun and it will be so much easy, I promise to you. We are a woman, right? We're a power woman, so we can do this. Okay. So
oh my gosh, I'm going to color my own hair right now, and I've already done mine.
Put your gloves on, right? Now I'm going to check. Everything is measured for you, right? This is the the bottle, and this is the color that I'm going to use. Probably you don't see it, right? But it's Verona Brown. So I'm going to put it inside. Let me show you, give me 1 second. You are going to open, you see that little thing right here. So we are going to open like that, okay? So we open here and everything is very easy, no mess, nice and easy. You see, we are going to put everything there, okay? So just let me go here and I try to squeeze everything because I want to put everything that is in the tube in the bottle. I don't want to waste any color because I need it for my hair, right? I need to cover my gray hair.
So
Now,
Anna's going to do bowl and brush application for us today. She's going to mix in the bottle. You'll see her shake, shake, shake because it's a really handy way to get all your clumps out of your color and get that mixed quickly. But she's going to actually apply with the bowl and brush, which is totally a preference thing. So for some of you who have colored before, maybe you've already sort of ventured into the accessory world and got yourself a bowl and brush. It does give you a little bit more control, the bowl and brush. A lot of women like it because it gives you really thin sections with the back of the brush, which Anna will show us. But I apply with the bottle at home all the time on my own roots. You don't have to have a bowl and brush. This is sort of a nice to have, not a must have. So if you have it, great. Anna's going to show us how to use it. Otherwise, applying straight from the bottle is totally perfect. And the nozzle is included in the kit as well.
yes.
Yeah.
And it's very, very easy to part with the nozzle. I just do a brush and ball because I'm a colorist. I use ball and brush every single day. So it's more easier in this case for me, okay? But you're totally fine to use the bottle. So if you have a ball and brush, you can put all your color right here after you mix, okay? And then let's go to start. Just let me put everything there. I don't like to waste color at all. Okay.
So Anna, I think what we'll probably do is have you go ahead and do your first couple of sections. And if you're watching and you've got your burning question ready to go, we'll have Anna get a section started so that we can see how she's parting. And then we'll get to a question here.
Okay. I want to say, like, you know, a lot of women we have around the face, right? And in the temple, the gray hair. So we need to make sure that everything there is saturation. Saturation is one of the key to cover the gray hair. So I like to start to put my color, right? I don't do much. I put just a little bit, not much on the brush, and the brush it will be clear, nice and clean. So I will put it around, just, you can see, around my hairline. So that's why the color is going to stay longer and it'll be there. Especially here on the temple, where normally is more resistant the gray hair. So we want to make sure that every single hair there have a good saturation. And when I talk about saturation, meaning like great yogurt, like icy, like that kind of consistencies, okay? For me personal, I like to color my section around it. All the perimeter of my section, I like to color, meaning here too. You see the section where it starts? So let me turn and then I will do this.
I think it's important to note that because of the consistency of Madison Reed, it's like Greek yogurt. It's like icing. So it's very easy to lay it onto the hair, which is exactly what Anna's doing with her bowl and brush. If you were to use an applicator flask, what you'd be doing is squeezing that color out actually onto your head and then working it into the hair from there. Because Anna's using the brush, she can do that in kind of one go, if you like. But what she's doing, and this is actually a pro tip, is she's keeping the brush very clean. You can see that she's really only just using the ends of the brush. That's where the color's going. It's not going on the entirety of the brush. And that's because she's mixed the color in the bottle and then put it in the bowl. What colorists mostly do is mix it in the bowl and then they end up with a dirty brush and they have to change their brush. So you kind of clever clogs, actually, Anna.
Mhm.
Clever clogs pro tip. And you're taking
Okay.
really nice thin sections, like the pages of a book.
Yes.
There's lots of pages in your book, isn't there? Because you've got lots of hair.
Oh, I used to have more, but now that's okay. The section have to be, let me tell you, the section have to be how you know if it's a thick or thin section, right? The section, when you take the section, you are going to see through. If you see through the section, so that's perfect. The thinner, the better, especially if you are 100% gray hair. So make sure you take the thinner section, slow down, and nice and clean. And
Anna,
saturate.
that is so good. And this brings up such a good point. This is another question that we get a lot. It is okay to go slow. The timer does not need to start until all the color is on those roots. So don't feel the pressure of time ticking away while you're applying. The color isn't going to over darken. It's not, nothing adverse is going to happen. Take your time, do your application, and then you start the timer when the roots are all on. And, you know, for some people, hair color is just maintenance. You got to get it on your roots and sort of, it's part of what you do every 4 weeks. Maybe it's not that much fun, but we can kind of make it this like self-care ritual, right? Like you've got your accessories and you're taking your little sections, and it can almost be kind of meditative and relaxing. So yeah, don't feel that you have to rush. These little thin sections are, it's really definitely relaxing to watch. Okay, so Anna, you keep going there. We are going to pop over and take a question. How does that sound?
Perfect. Sound perfect for me.
Okay. All right. You keep going. We're going to question now. Gail, I'm going to ask to unmute you. Give me one quick second here. All righty, Gail. Can you unmute based on that?
There we go.
There we go. Hi.
So my question is, how, and I love the product. I have to throw that in. How clean is clean? In other words, how many days from your last shampoo is within the good range to apply the color to the roots?
Okay, amazing question. Really good question. How clean is clean? So obviously there is some variation because, you know, however oily someone's scalp gets, I say like a day and a half or 2 days, something like that is ideal. Now, sometimes we say, apply on day old hair, and then people feel like, oh no, I shampooed yesterday, am I going to be able to do it? Or I shampooed this morning. It is absolutely safe and okay, everyone, for you to apply your color even if you shampooed this morning. That's okay. This waiting for day old hair isn't a rule, it's just a preference. And there's 2 reasons. Most of us, when our hair is too clean, it's like slippery and too soft and won't stay where you put it, and you almost need a little bit of like 1 day of natural oil to just work with your hair and have it stay and cooperate. So that's one. Number 2 is the natural oils on your scalp kind of help give this protective barrier to your skin that can be helpful when coloring your hair. So ideal, I would say a day, 2 days, but don't worry if your hair is fresh and clean. What you want to be careful of is removing debris that's going to block the color. So if you have a lot of root touch-up camouflage on your hair or temporary, you know, makeup for the hair, you might give that a wipe off. Or really heavy styling products like oils, you might want to do a quick, you know, shampoo. But if it's just natural scalp oil, yeah, a day or 2 is perfect.
Yeah, like just natural. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow,
that was a good question. Yeah, I love that question. That's one that women are always really curious about. Okay. All right, Anna, how are we doing over there? Should we jump to one more question? You're still working diligently?
I'm still working on here on my front, making sure that I have a good saturation and all my hair they are covered. Yes, you can ask Charbon any question. Yeah.
Okay, Susan, you want to grab a question?
I would love to. And don't forget, everybody, if you want to ask a question, just go down to participants and then you can raise your hand and we'll take the questions in order. So I think next on the list is my namesake, Susan Toner. I'm going to ask to unmute you, darling. Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Hello.
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 I've been told I have hot roots.
Ooh,
Do you have any suggestion for that and how to address that?
how did you get your hot roots?
I think I have lots of gray hair and I like red. So
Uh-huh.
it picks up the red only and not the brown.
Yes, and that's something that can happen if you have grey hair, because grey hair likes to accept colour. And if you are red, and good for you, I can see you, it's gorgeous.
Thank you.
And so what colour did you use last time?
I mix a 6G and a 7G.
Aha, okay. So you're not using Madison Reed?
No, and
Not yet.
That's why
Okay.
I'm listening today, because I'm curious and I think I want to try something better, because what I used before irritates my scalp.
Aha.
So that's what attracted me to Madison Reed, but I also want to make sure I know how to address the hot root issue.
Perfect. Well, Susan, you're in absolutely the right place, because what I can tell you is Madison Reed is especially formulated to be gentle. So we have lots of people like you who found in the past that the hair color may irritate them. That can be for a couple of different reasons. And Madison Reed oftentimes is the perfect product to use for that. But what's even more important is that every single shade in Madison Reed is formulated, specially mixed to be used on grey hair. So you're in the right spot.
Good.
Well done. Now, what you're going to need to do, and I can see your hair actually is a lovely shade of red. It's kind of chestnutty, bronzy. There's a couple of shades that I think would be absolutely perfect for you. And I can go ahead and tell you what I think just by looking. But what I'm going to do is recommend that you email Siobhan, and at the end, for everybody who doesn't have their question answered, we will show an email that you can write to Siobhan and have a color consultation. The other thing that you can do is go directly to the website, madison-reed.com or .reed.com, and you can go through the color quiz, which is an excellent way of self-selecting, as long as you're honest. I will say that. So I think where you're going to be wanting to look is in the NGM family. So I would say probably 7NGM would be a great one for you. You might also, if you want to go a little bit warmer, and that's Como, you might want to go also for maybe some Genova, which would be a bit more coppery. Alternatively, you could go with Sardinia, which will be a little bit deeper. So that will give you kind of the ideas. If you jot that down, you can go to the website, have a look, but do email Siobhan and do go through the consultation. And that goes for anybody who's got questions about formulation. So good luck, Susan. We hope to see you at the next Hair Color House Party with Madison Reed on your hair. Perfect, darling. Thank you so much. Anna, how's it going?
Perfect, thank you. Everything is okay, you know, I just done my front, right? Now I'm going to start my back, right? That's everybody's afraid for the back, right? Everybody's like, I don't see it. I feel so nervous. I'm going to miss a spot, the gray hair. Don't worry about it, right? Doesn't have to be perfect, but we try to do the best we can, right? And now we're going to apply the back by feelings. I know we don't have the eyes over there, so you're going to feel how you're going to part the hair, right? Doing this, and then you're going to feel the temperature of the color. So it's a little cold, so you're going to feel there. Let me show you, okay? Now I'm finished here, right? I double check that everything is covered on the front. Now let's go to move to this side, okay?
I do want to point out, Anna, when we were answering a question at the time, but my eyes were popping over to you because meticulously, before she's starting the back, before she leaves the front section, she just went back through with her tint brush and retouched all those little resistant grays in the hairline. And you know which ones are resistant because after the color's been on them for a little while, those will almost physically pop back up out of the color. They kind of are strong and have a mind of their own, and you'll see them sticking back up. just weigh them down physically with the color, smother them with the color and get them weighed down. And because now that she's going to move to the back, those are already cooking. So you really want to give them, you know, give the color a fighting chance and really lay it on thick. Okay.
Okay. You just
Take us
let
to
me
the
know
back
if
here.
you- Okay, perfect.
And we'll see, Anna, how well we can hear you with turned away. If it sounds a little odd, then we'll just narrate for you. So don't you worry.
You
Okay.
hear me now?
A little.
Yes? Okay.
Take us through step one, and then Susan and I will take over vocal.
Okay.
Put your chin up, Anna. That's it. Perfect.
There you go. Perfect. So she's literally just feeling, using that parting that was there. And so Anna's going to part these vertically. So remember how we were talking about pages of a book, and it's like her head is the spine of the book, and she's opening it up like pages and then feeling for that skin in between the part. And then, like she said, you can feel the coldness of the color. So you're doing this by feel. And I have to say, Anna's doing a spectacular job at this. It looks kind of like she does have eyes in the back of her head, but well done.
I think this is a great way and to section your hair for the back if your hair is long. So obviously Anna's got beautiful long hair. Your hair falls when it's long. So it makes sense to section it going vertically rather than, and those of you who've been in a salon situation, most colorists will part going, what's the other way? Horizontally. And if your hair's layered, then that's an easy one to do. But having lots of hair like Anna does and long hair, it's kind of an unusual technique from a colorist's eye, but doing it that way is absolutely way better. So I think the lesson is to do what works for you. If you've got short hair, don't worry so much about sectioning. It's going to be too difficult to do that before you start doing the color. And Anna spent a lot of time sectioning off. She needs to because she's got a lot of hair to manage. If your hair's short, I would actually dive right in, because once you've got the color on your hair, it helps to kind of keep it out of the way where it's put. You don't have to work too hard with clips and that kind of thing. It's much, much easier to just go for it. So while Anna's working, and this is a bit that actually I just want to say, if you have got grey hair, just put your chin up a little bit, Anna, so we can see a bit better. That's perfect. Lovely. That little bit behind the ear is where you don't know you're grey, but you're often pretty grey. So that's worth spending time on, because I know for myself, many a time I've spent lots of time on the front because I'm pretty grey at the front, and then only to part my hair and think, oh dear. So I won't put my hair in a ponytail. So that little bit at the back of the ear is just as important to work on. And that's fortunately what we can see and feel. So Anna's working away now on the second section. Do we have time for another question here, Siobhan?
We actually, you know what? We got one from Facebook. I'm going to read this one. So this one is from Susan, but this is another question a lot of people are going to benefit from. I've got really short hair. When I did it, I had a lot of products left. Next time, can I use half of the product and leave the other half in the bottles to use later? Okay, yes, you can. So if you've got not a lot of hair, short hair, pixie haircut, or just really fine hair, and you find yourself throwing away more color than you're using and you don't want to waste, absolutely you can. You can measure it out. Now, I'm going to be, totally honest. The product is not pre-marked for you to do half and half, but we're happy to help you out with this. So the mixing ratio for your color to activator is 1 part color to 1.5 activator. So you can either measure it out by a tablespoon, like tablespoon of color, tablespoon and a half of activator, and mix it in a bowl and brush, or you can, invert both and roll it down to the top of the M on the tube and squeeze half the activator in. It might not be an exact measurement, but that's okay. You're not going to get weird results by being off by 0.01 ounces. You're going to be just fine. The key though is if you're going to do this, just make sure that The half-used tube is sealed and airtight, and so is the activator, sealed and airtight, kept separate, cool, dry place, just like any other chemical thing you have in your house that's labeled, keep it in a cool, dry place. You don't want it bouncing around in your trunk, just so that the color stays usable. At that point, you can keep those two half-used components for several, I think it's 6 months to a year. You got a long time with it. But once you mix color, it's kind of game over within the hour. So don't mix color and try to save any leftovers. You can just measure them out that way. Sound good? I hope that was helpful. She's not on this call, but she's watching from Facebook. So if you have any other questions, Susan, about that I didn't answer, just shoot me an email at the end and I'll answer that for you.
We've got lots of Susans today, haven't we?
It's a Susan party.
Can we take a question from Robin?
Yes.
Can we unmute you, Robin, darling? Are you there? I'm going to ask to unmute you. Are you there, Robin? Hello? It looks like you're unmuted, my darling. Can we hear you? No, it looks like we can't hear you. How about then, should we go to Barb Blasky? I'm going to ask to unmute you, Barb. Are you there? Are you there, Barb?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi.
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 So
So what's your question, my love?
what is the difference between this hair color and like what you get at the store?
Oh, you're asking the right person, my darling. Lots of differences. I don't have all day, unfortunately, because I could definitely go on. But the most important thing, I think, with Madison Reed is, I would say two things. First of all, the formulation is very different because what we've done is taken a professionally inspired product and made it very usable for people at home. So what we have is a absolutely professional quality, and that's why we can use it in color bars, which are obviously professional application, and have professional hairdressers use it. But we've made it very simple and easy to use, both from the techniques that we use. We've made it a good consistency, so it's easy to mix and apply. And what we've also done is made sure that we get rid of the things that people don't really want to have in their hair color. And those are plentiful. Hair color is something which is chemically active when we use permanent color. So what we try to do is to make it as free from as possible. So we make it PPD free. There's a very long word which we shorten. It's actually paraphenylene diamine. I won't ask you to say it. And what we've done is we've taken those out of this hair color. We've also taken resorcinol out, and it was kind of a hard job to do that, to take those things away. But those are the things that people are most often worried about in hair color. So that's what we've tried to do.
So is it more of a stain then?
It's absolutely not.
Okay.
It's actually permanent hair color. What we use instead of PPD is something which is fairly similar to PPD, but it doesn't have the same allergy history that PPD has. So it's very much gentler. We also don't use ammonia. That's kind of important to us because we like it to smell good. So what you get is the performance of a permanent hair color, because after all, we want it to look good. There's no point coloring your hair unless it works, right? So it covers gray, it lifts, it does everything a permanent hair color can do. We have other products, and this is what Anna's going to show us as well, which will work a little bit more like a stain or a gloss. Those are in technical terms, we call those depositing hair colors. And those we use in conjunction with the permanent hair color. But color reviving gloss is different. We use the radiant cream, which is our permanent color, and that does everything that a drugstore color will do, but it will do it better and it will do it more nicely. And we have the mixed shades in there, which we were talking about earlier, that will help to give a much softer, more professional looking result. Because what professional colorists do is mix color together. We've done that for you. In every single tube, there's a customized mix to get the best possible, softest coverage gray, different tones, reflection, dimension, all the things that we know and love from hair color. So I've probably said way too much, Barb, but I hope I've answered your question.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I have very fast growing hair. It's down to my waist, but I have to do my hair every 2 weeks. So it would be safe still to use it that often.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And what I would say to you, Barb, if you are doing your hair every 2 weeks, perhaps, and you probably already have invested in a bowl and brush, because that will make it easier for you. And maybe don't do the whole head. If you've got lots of hair, you probably don't need to do kind of what's underneath here. You can perhaps do, you know, the hairline and parting, maybe the top. And we do have products that are specifically for that as well.
Okay.
So I would recommend that you go on the website, have a look for a product called Root Reboot. You might find that will help. If you've not used Madison Reed before, wait till the end and email Siobhan and we can help you with that formulation.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so
Appreciate it.
much.
That was a very good question.
That was a
love
great
talking
question.
in
I
videos.
love those questions.
Me
I
too.
love asking them. So thank you for letting me do
I
that.
love a moment to talk about color chemistry. So I'm going to pop back over to Anna because she's scooching right along here in her application. So
Okay.
Anna, give us just a quick rundown of the gloss application.
Okay, what is, first of all, I want to say that is after you apply the color, right? I set up my timer for 45 minutes because my gray hair is very resistant, right? And now I'm going to cross check, meaning like I want to go, if I go vertical in my application, right, in the back, so now I'm going to check horizontal, the section. So you're going to make sure that do it horizontal, the section doesn't have to be very thin or small. That's okay if you go a little bigger. But what does the cross checking is like, make sure that you cover all your gray hair. And also if you see some spot here, there, so you are going to reapply the color. Or if you see the consistent is not that great, so you are going to make sure that all your gray hair is covered, right? So while I do that, I like to apply my gloss at the same time, right? So I apply my single process. Now I apply my gloss, right? The section doesn't have to be too thin because the consistent of the gloss is jelly, so can drip faster, right? But also it make easy to go in the hair like that. You apply like that, right? Like a small section, and then you go and massage your hair. Make sure that all your hair is benefits for this beautiful gloss that I love, that is going to tone my highlights, and also it will add shine to my hair. Actually,
okay. I love what you're saying. So, okay. So Susan and I, usually we would frame this as, so the cross check that Anna was just describing, this is a very professional, what we call behind the chair, you know, when hairdressers talk, you know, hairdresser, we say, you know, behind the chair. We always do this cross check. We put the roots on, the roots are sitting there cooking, they've got 20 minutes. And then we go through and we're looking for any dry spots we missed, because we're good, we're really good, we're professionals, but you miss a hair or, you know, that gray pops back out, whatever it is. And so Anna, and then we would cross check and then apply the gloss, but you're sort of doing it as a one-stop shop. As you take your gloss section, you're cross checking right then. Okay, I like that. I like that.
Me too. I love it.
I
think
will
that's a
do
great tip.
simultaneous. You know,
There you
sometimes
go.
we have kids. Sometimes we have kids, right? We're running out, and then so it will be easy. I found that very easy, you know, to do it. So
any couple of minutes you can shave off the process, right?
Yeah,
yes.
absolutely. So this is a great thing, isn't it, Anna? This perfect pair, because what we're doing here is targeting the grey hair with permanent colour. And going back to Barb's question that she brilliantly asked, is it the same as a permanent colour? Yeah, absolutely. We need to cover grey, we need permanent colour. We need to lighten, we need permanent colour. We want to create something different from your natural hair, we need permanent color. But where the hair's already colored, we don't want permanent color there. Why would you put the same color to cover the gray at the roots as you would put on the ends? You don't need to, because there's no gray through the ends. Hopefully you've covered it the first time around. So the way that this works is brilliant, because it's actually very much what a hairdresser would do in a salon. If you've been to a salon, you've had your hair colored, this is what they're doing at the bowl usually. So we're putting the gloss on because it's specifically targeting hair which is already colored. We don't want to make the hair darker. And Anna's already told us that those lovely highlights that she's got, really they need to be refreshed, not covered. And if we were to put permanent color through on those ends, we would find that we'd cover them up and we'd get rid of them. So this is a great way. I like to tell my clients, it's like lip gloss for hair, because what it does is it gives a lovely shine, and really it's a tinted shine shield for each and every hair to give it that lovely shine, but at the same time have a very sheer, soft color result. Also, what's great about gloss is that we're not actually putting any type of chemical on the hair at all. So it's very gentle, it's very easy to use, and it's not going to damage. So the only thing that you can do wrong is not put enough gloss on. That's what Anna's doing here. And she's obviously being very meticulous. You're so meticulous, darling. I have to say, when I color my hair, I'm not anywhere near as
I'm a little messier as well. Yeah, I'm a little jealous of this application.
I'm very jealous. And I
So
love
what
when
we
you talk about it.
what we get a lot is, you know, if you've been coloring your hair at home for a long time, you might be accustomed to this idea of the pull through, right? You put your permanent color on for a while and then you pull it through the ends to refresh it. Really, that is like the first time you color your hair, or very rarely, like twice a year, if your hair has gotten faded and needs deposit of permanent color. Almost always this sort of sheer, I mean, the great thing about the gloss is you see her putting it on straight from the tube. It's not mixed with an activator. There's no developer. Nothing is opening up the cuticle of her hair. There's no drying out. And she's not going to get that effect that we get when we keep pulling color through, which is from the roots down to halfway through your face, pretty, shiny, dimensional. And then from here down, where all this color history is and the color's been brought through too many times, it's kind of inky, sad looking, too dark, too opaque, right? This keeps the hair color looking just soft and dimensional. You could go over this, you know, every couple weeks, and it's never going to get built up. It's never going to get overly dark, overly inky. Okay.
Well, and that's the great thing, I think, about gloss, because there's different colors to choose from. Especially if you're brunette, we can go with something that's really copper. We can go with something that's really red. There might be some new things coming. I'm not going to say anything about that now. So that we can actually ring the changes a little bit. If you've got lighter hair on the ends and you're a brunette, it's brilliant to be able to do that. Do we have, while Anna's going, do we have
I just want to say something faster.
Yes, of course, darling.
Like, even sometimes, you don't want to change anything. You love your hair the way it is, right? I love the tone. I love my highlights. I don't want to do anything. You can use a clear gloss. Just only boost the shininess of your hair and it will be amazing. You will love for me, gloss is like you said, the lipstick. You need to use a gloss I recommend 95% of my clients always they have a gloss, because gloss for me is very important. It will be like the secret wipe of the colorist. So I think gloss is very, very important.
So if you're seeing Anna for a color appointment, you're getting a gloss. That's the story.
Yes, that's for sure.
Down, you're getting a gloss.
That's for sure, because you want amazing and shine silky hair. So you need to get a gloss in order for me to deliver what you want.
All right, we're going to take one more question. Okay, it's Maya or Mia. You tell me. I'm gonna try to unmute you. Give me one quick second here. And then you can correct me on the name if I've got it wrong. Okay. Ask to unmute. Here we go. Hi there. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Is it
Hello.
Maya or Mia?
Mia.
Mia. Okay. Hi, Mia.
Hi. I have a question. I just started coloring my hair this last couple of years, and I go to a stylist, and I noticed that I have a lot of breakage around the back of my neck and around my temples.
Mm.
And so I don't know if because she was not using the right product on my hair, because my hair is very fine and very soft. And most of her clients are, they have really coarse hair, very nappy hair.
Okay.
So I didn't know if that makes a difference.
Is this happening in correlation with your color appointment, or is this happening in relation with any kind of like chemical restructuring like perm relaxer or anything else?
No, I just have my hair color from her. I don't do anything else. My hair is just straight.
You know, it might be, there might be a little bit, you might be getting a little bit more activating power than your hair needs. Maybe you don't quite need as much lifting. It's very hard for me to make a call, Mia, without knowing what's being used on the hair. But
Okay.
I would absolutely say, and the other thing, do you wear your hair up or back a lot?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I noticed that when I do, because usually when I go out, like at an event or a formal event, I put my hair up. You know, I noticed that I had a lot of breakage that I'd never had before, and it didn't happen until I started dyeing my hair.
So can I just jump in there? Because
Jump in, sure.
I know that it can be very upsetting to have this. So thank you for bringing it up. And I'm sure that you're not alone. So what I would say is a couple of things. Sometimes you can think it's breakage, but it may be new growth. So the way to tell is to look at the hair. If it's pointed on the ends, then it's new. If it's not pointed, it's broken. If you do have breakage, once you've identified it, if your hair is fine, what I would say is, especially if it's colored, be very careful when it's wet, because wet hair is always a little bit more delicate. If you're blow drying or combing, if your hair gets tangled and you pull the tangles out, if you're doing that when it's wet, that can sometimes cause breakage. So be very careful with your hair. Treat it very, very gently. Try not to rub, especially when it's wet. Be very gentle with the comb. If you do want to brush it through or comb it in the shower when you've got conditioner on. So what you'll be doing is really trying to do the best you can. And then what I would say is, if you suspect that is something that is happening as a result of color, I would say this: it's very, very difficult to break hair with color. And I would go back to your stylist and speak to your stylist about it, because I think if it was me and you were my client, and I wish you were, I know that I would really want to solve that for you. So that's what I would say. Is that helpful? I hope so.
Mia, if it's not, if you need any more info, please don't hesitate. Like everyone else on this call, please don't hesitate to use the email address we're going to show at the end, and email, and I'd love to take your questions. So we have time for one more question, and we've got one. And I want to just sort of end our color portion of this call by recapping a couple things about using the roots and the gloss together really quickly. If you noticed, when Anna put the gloss on her hair, her roots were already painted on. So the best way for me to describe this is, you put the gloss on what's dry after the roots. So you put the color on, the roots are wet. Everything from that line down where the hair is dry down to the ends, that's where the gloss goes. You can do this in one shot, just like Anna did, and that's what we call the perfect pair. That's how we do it in Color Bar as well. If you want to do it in two different applications, do your roots today, do your gloss tomorrow. Also, gloss is a great refresher. You don't have to only do it when you're doing roots. Whenever the hair color starts to fade a little, or whenever it needs a little pick-me-up, etc., you can use gloss by itself, and it couldn't be easier. It's just like applying conditioner. So don't forget that one. Okay, so one more little question here that we got, and this was from the Facebook Live. And this is Billy. Hi, Billy. I've been using Santa Brown for a while and I love it. I've been using it every 2 weeks. Is this okay, or am I doing it too often? Amazing question. As long as you are only covering the new growth, you're not doing it too often, because remember, those roots that are coming out, they're brand new. We call that virgin hair. It's only ever being colored once in its lifetime. What you want to not do is paint it too far down and cause overlap. And that's what Susan was referring to. For you, as a person who's really just doing that teeny tiny every 2 week touch up, the bowl and brush is going to be helpful, because it really helps you just get it right in that little spot. Just tap the color in there and have it not travel down. So Billy, I hope that was a good answer for you. If it wasn't and you need more info, email me too. And I think that was our last question, and that hour just flew by.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe it's over.
I know, I know, that went by incredibly fast. Heidi, I think, are we all set?
Yeah, we are, and I'm ready to announce the winner of our free Radiant Cream Color and Gloss, and it goes to the woman I've seen taping this show, Sherry Linskog. Congratulations, Sherry. I see you clapping.
Yay.
Congratulations. Sherry, please email us, and after the show, tell us that you were chosen, and we will work with you to tell you how to pick up your shade and how to get your, we will mail you the shade. So congratulations, Sherry. Okay, the help continues. As Siobhan and Susan have said over and over again, if you have additional questions, please email us, and the email will be shown right now on the screen. It is haircolorhouseparty, all one word, at madison-reed.com for additional questions, and we will answer those questions. Probably give us, what, Siobhan, like 2 days or so, or how much? Yeah, 2 days to get you an answer back. We tend to get a ton of questions right after these parties. We will be sending you before after pictures of Anna. You did a great job. Thank you, of her beautiful before and after pictures. And then finally, don't leave us. The hair color house parties continue. Our next hair color house party is Thursday, December 3rd at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. From our home to yours, happy coloring, and see you next time. Bye.